Hey, what's up everybody? Gonna do another weekly update here. 26. Incredible. It's been, I don't know, a year more since I did the last one of these, and I haven't felt like making a video like this in a long time, but I was just thinking about it. You know, it's been a while since I've just come on here to talk without any time limitations and just ramble. It's like, yeah, man, fine, I'll do another bitch session for YouTube, because why the hell not? This is kind of an old-timey video from like 3 or 4 years ago. Even got that same old camera angle and everything. The same webcam, you know, just kind of going back on it. But, yeah, so I just wanted to talk about some various things that have been going on. I want to talk about some things with computers and implications. I am going to be a little bit laggy in this video. It is what it is. I'm using OBS to record this. This is what I've been relying on using for this webcam recently. I've been using it for a couple of vids. I like the features of this, how I can have multiple sources, as they call it, and I can adjust things. Like for that last video I did with the VirtualBox, I was able to have the webcam in the corner and record the screen at the same time. And like with the video I did on the PS3 stuff, I was able to have this full screen. Then when the time came, I just dragged it to the corner and had a different screen displayed with myself still in the corner. And I thought that was pretty cool to be able to do that on the fly like that. And it records pretty good here. Like I say, I'm impressed with it. But there is some frame loss every once in a while, which it's weird that it's happening when I'm just using the LifeCam. Maybe it's because it's so damn bright that it's causing problems. I don't know, because this webcam really blows things out. It looks pretty good now too, I'll say. It records a lot better than QuickTime does, because QuickTime, if I was filming this same scene, man, you wouldn't see shit. You would just see a blown out mess. You should see some of the videos that I've never uploaded because they're so blown out. Like, the whole thing's just white. Like, you cannot see a damn thing. It's just awful. But this seems to work a lot better. The LifeCam software, and here I'm going to go on a ramble. I did mention this in the last video too. The LifeCam software for Windows that actually gives you the adjustments for brightness and whatnot, I have it on my Windows 7 computer, but guess what? It is impossible to find now. You cannot get it anymore. You can never install the software again. It will never be possible to use this software ever again once computers that already have it are gone. Because I've been trying this for over 5 years. Back when I had my Latitude set up, I was trying to film with this on it, and it was an offline only system, but I had Windows 7 on it, tried to put it on there, failed. Wouldn't run, because the installer is online only, which we talked about in that video. You cannot get an offline installer. They never released one for any versions of the LifeCam software. I've tried many versions of it from like 2009 onwards, and yeah, they all don't work. None of them work. And when I tried, obviously, like I said, I tried copying the application and the folder and everything with it. It does not work. It does not work on XP7. The software never worked in any newer version than that anyway. And it just doesn't work. It fails to open. It relies on system libraries that are updated. And it's not something that you can easily copy, because, I mean, these are outright system DLLs. Like, they are files that are used by Windows. They are installed with Windows. And I even tried replacing some of the DLLs in Windows that it was asking for and giving errors from, and it wouldn't work. So, junk. It's definitely not an intuitive replacement, so screw it. Not worth trying. So that software I basically consider lost forever. So no more freaking cowboy hat glitching through my head and all that stupid effects that they had on that thing. And then, again, no more true color technology, no more brightness adjustments with this cam. All that stuff is lost. You have to rely on software like this. Which, again, like I say, this works fine. I think I can do manual adjustments on the brightness and stuff too. I'm not going to try messing with it, because I don't want to ruin my video right now. But it should be possible. It should be possible. QuickTime Player wasn't giving me very much success. I did find one thing. I got the drivers out of that application, so you can still get the LifeCam drivers to work on XP or 7. But because they also wouldn't have been able to download anymore. But the application's ruined, so it is what it is. And of course, like I said, even if you're connected to the internet, if you try to run it, it doesn't work anymore. I saw some threads online of some guys talking about it in like late 2021, and it already wasn't working. So yeah, they've changed their servers, they've deleted stuff, they've shut them off, whatever they've done with them. But a lot of those old online only installers are lost. So like, but for like Windows, what the hell did they call it? Windows Live Essentials or something like that, where they had like Movie Maker, Photo Gallery, Messenger, that kind of stuff. Stuff like that in the .NET frameworks they released offline installers for, but the LifeCam software they never did. So that's a whole separate ramble, but there you go, that's what I'm doing. I'm using OBS on this 2012 iMac. And that's what I wanted to make this video about, though, was just technology for the most part. And my technology and what I've been using, because, you know, I've made a lot of videos on technology and different computers that I've acquired and different computers that I've been using as my main machines or just as hobbyist type things. And I figure, I don't know how many, again, I don't know who the hell, because I don't get enough feedback on videos to know what people like and what people don't. I know the algorithm picks certain videos out, like that PS3 one that I did, or the games pickups vid, whatever. It just, the algorithm goes in and grabs those videos and throws them out there, and then they get a little bit more attention. But it's completely random. I don't know what people like to watch from me. I don't know what actually does get more attention from my subscribers. I don't know. I have no clue. So I make whatever the hell I feel like making. There's really no rhyme or reason to it, because I don't even know. I don't know what gets more attention naturally or not. It's the algorithm, man. That's what it is. But anyway, I figured I'd just talk about the technology. So like I say, I'm using this 2012 iMac. I've had it for like 13 months at this point. And it's going good. It's going pretty good so far. 16 gigs of RAM, otherwise it's the stock for the year, the 27-inch iMac. Like I say, well, I don't think I ever actually mentioned this in a video. The screen being 27 inches, it's nice. And I did make a video about this a long time ago, actually. Once you get used to it, though, it doesn't feel quite as big. But the problem is, anything where I'm working with the corners of the screen, I'm too close to it for that. I'm really too close for it. Really too close for it. I'm really too close to it for that kind of stuff. So I'm always looking back and forth and looking around. Trying to play a game in full screen is fucking hopeless in this thing. If I need to be looking around in the corners, I have to either play in a window or sit back, which is not fun because my keyboard and mouse are right here and I really can't do anything to bring them out any further. So the screen is a little too large for the space that I'm in. If you haven't seen my desk setup, I'm not going to pull the camera down, but it's a pretty small desk. It's a pretty small setup that I'm working with. But so I can't get back any further. I can't put this thing any further back because it's basically up against the wall already. So the screen is a little too big, but it is nice at the same time to have a big screen. Had to have a high-res screen. That was also the one thing in that Windows vid. The screen was almost too high-res for what I was doing because the elements are so small, you really can't. It's blurry. I didn't know that I could scale it down because it would have shrunk all my windows, and I don't like it when it does that. Like, anytime I've tried to plug an external display into it, everything gets squished because it goes to a low resolution by default. So when I fix it, all my windows are this fucking shrunk thing, and I don't like that. But that's, yeah, like stuff like that. I was going whole separate tangent. But yeah, other than that, like I said, the computer's perfect. The speakers are pretty good for what they are. They're not blown out. It's been running fine. The only problem I've really had with it is there's a program called Xlink Kai, which is for playing original Xbox games and I guess other stuff online again through system link tunneling. And anytime I try to run that on this Mac, it restarts the whole computer. It just shuts off and restarts. I don't know why. It's not my Ethernet port because I was using it to FTP that stuff from the PS3. And I had that thing running for days on it, multiple times, plugged and unplugged. and it didn't do anything. So it's the Xlink app that's causing my computer to restart randomly. And then there was one other time when the computer just restarted itself for no reason. But how the hell am I supposed to know? I looked through the system log and I can't find anything. But yeah, otherwise it's perfect. The only thing is, and here's the thing where I'm going to get into, because this is probably the last, this is the last computer of its kind that I will ever own. There's no question about it. This is the last time that I'm ever buying a computer that will ever serve this kind of function, that will ever be this kind of machine. So I've had like 7 or 8 iMacs over the years, but I've only had 4 that were actually like my main computer, and this is the 4th, and it will probably be the last one. I'm not going to buy an iMac, any newer Intel iMacs. I have no desire to do so, and I'm not going to buy an M1 iMac. I almost did at one time, but it didn't work out, and I didn't really want one anyway, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I'm not interested in a newer Intel iMac because, again, having the built-in screen on the big screen, it always has been problematic for me. This screen has image retention, for what it's worth. It's not very noticeable. It takes a while for it to kick in. And when you're using the computer constantly, you almost never see it, but it is there. So it's like, isn't that great? It's a non-issue, but it's just funny. It's like that kind of stuff. If I had to try to get another 2012 27-inch iMac, it would probably take me 2 or 3 tries to get one as good as this. Because the screens, man. And as we go along with it, it's just getting old. Which, yeah, that's on me, of course. No shit. But it's getting old. I'm running Sierra on it. That's just, I've been stubborn like that. When I get set on something, I stick with it. I've been using Sierra for like 4+ years at this point. And, excuse me. Sierra's getting old. It's going to be 7 years old in a couple months, which is just crazy. But, it's getting too old. I also run Mavericks on this computer, which that's old. But that one I know, because I use Mavericks for all my old software. And then Sierra for browsing the web for the most part. And some newer programs like OBS here and some other stuff that I've got on this computer. But, yeah, just Sierra's getting old. And I'm not sure what I want to do with regard to that, because I'm not one to mess with, because I have Firefox, the ESR version, extended support release, for my Mavericks partition on this, and it still works perfectly fine with the internet. There's no problems browsing the internet on Mavericks, for me. And then obviously on Sierra, they still support Firefox, but it's not going to last for much longer, because I know they're going to drop Windows 7 support here in the coming months. Chrome has dropped support for Sierra already. Edge has dropped support, the piece of junk. Edge it's not a bad browser, but the way they set the Mac version up, it's junk with updates and stuff, because it actually will update you out of your supported versions, because it updated me to a version that I can't even fucking run anymore. And it will do it every time. I copied it off of my old hard drive. Every time it will update it to a newer version that you can't even open on your computer. So it's just like, great. So that one you can't even continue to use. I think I did get it to finally work properly, but I don't even open it anymore because it keeps resetting my home page. So every time I get on it, there's all this news junk. So it's like, yeah, welcome to that. I just don't have the desire to mess with it. I don't like to use browsers that are like homebrew browsers, I guess, because again, they get funky like that. They have things that are weird, elements disappear, this and that, extensions don't work properly with them, stuff like that. And so Chrome has ended support for that. I could take this machine up to High Sierra and Mojave and Catalina officially. Chrome is already going to drop support for High Sierra and Mojave in September of this year, which is insane already. I mean, yeah, as time goes on, I mean, it has been 5 years, but they've supported OSs for longer than that before, so it sucks. I mean, it is what it is, but it sucks. It's not something to sit and bitch about, but it's like, yeah, it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to move up to a new OS. I will not move to High Sierra. Obviously, it's pointless. I don't like High Sierra. I have a hard time getting along with it. I actually did run it on this computer the first month I had it, but it was getting to be too much. With all the bugs I was having with applications and with even the built-in Apple stuff, it was getting fucked up for me. So I took it back down to Sierra, and I hated doing that because I had to copy everything off and rebuild the whole system for that partition, and it was a bitch. But I did do that like a month into having the computer. So High Sierra, screw it. Mojave, last one with 32-bit app support, which is huge. Almost all of my apps are 32-bit. Almost all of them are. QuickTime Player 7 is a fantastic program. You can't use it anymore. iPhoto, Aperture, you can't use them anymore. Any of my old games, can't use them anymore. Microsoft Office, maybe 2011. I'm trying to think. That one I think that one doesn't work either anymore. But all that stuff's all lost. The older version of Photoshop that I have, lost. Let's see here, other software. Like every game that I play on Mac is lost. All of them. Absolutely all of them. The version of VLC that I have, that I use, I should be able to port all that stuff to the newer versions of VLC, but it will not work either. But I think I can remedy that problem. Yeah, all of the games are lost. I'm just going through here and looking. VirtualBox will still work on Catalina because I need it. Wine doesn't work on Catalina, which is a big problem because I run a lot of Windows programs still. Redream, yeah, I have a Dreamcast emulator for the Mac that actually runs great on this old machine. That I think works on the newer ones actually. Yep, my iTunes stuff lost because they got rid of iTunes anyway, and I have a big investment in iTunes, so that's lost. The older iMovie that I use, obviously, it's lost. Front Row, it's lost a long time ago. It does work in Mavericks though. Yep, all the games are lost. All these emulators that I use for the Mac are all gone. Yep. Oh, my utilities, the older airport utilities gone. Yeah, QuickTime Player 7's gone. A good version of disk utility, yeah, whatever. iPod reset utilities lost. AppleScript, whatever. So yeah, a lot of that stuff's just lost. You cannot get newer versions of this stuff. It's all gone, starting with Catalina. And so Mojave would be the last one I could go to and keep all that old software. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'm just going to have to compromise and jump up to Mojave. I will have to do some tweaking because by default they removed it. It's like, why? It's just the stupid ass mistakes that they made with some of these more recent versions. They removed LCD font smoothing settings for regular panels in Mojave. Because if I come in here to System Preferences, let me see if I can find it. Maybe not. Oh yeah, General. Use LCD font smoothing when available. That's gone in Mojave. You can still turn it back on with Terminal, but it's gone. And everything looks like shit. If you don't have a Retina screen or like a 4K, 5K monitor, it looks like garbage. Because I have used it before on a 27-inch iMac that is not 5K, and yet it looks like crap. So you got to fix that. And I got to convert it to the Apple file system, which means that I won't be able to see the partition from Mavericks. So no more cross-pollination of files, which is just great. And because I would want to keep Mavericks if I would go up any higher, because I need the older apps. I need the iTunes. And Yes, the Mojave might be a good stopgap, but like I say, it's probably only another 2 years or so before it's gone. That's probably enough. But it just, again, I hate having to migrate my stuff. If it's only like a stopgap measure, it's like, what a waste of time anyway. Just what a waste. So I'm starting to think that, excuse me, either take this computer like really high up, going into unsupported territory, or it's time to start looking for a replacement. Which, that's definitely a possibility. It's just the thing is, man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of buying a new computer. Because I'm going to buy a new computer. I'm going to buy a brand new computer next time. I'm done buying these used things because I'll never buy another Intel Mac. Unless it's like a thrift store find or something along those lines. I will not buy a new Intel Mac to actually like use in this manner. Like I said, it's just not worth it anymore because they are rapidly dropping support for Intels to transition over. So I'd get like a, and then I'll get into this later actually. But there was one thing I wanted to circle back to that has to do with Chrome dropping support. And this is funny, guys, because I've done a lot of vids on this kind of stuff over the years of playing games on Macs. All of that stuff is just lost. It's all gone. Mac gaming is fucking shambles. With regards to anything legacy, it's just junk. Complete trash. Because Steam, even if you got one of these old Macs, because Steam relies on Google Chrome, and it's dropping support for El Cap and Sierra in September of this year. So I'm going to be knocked off of Steam. They're dropping support for Windows 7 in January of next year. So I'm going to get kicked off of that, so I won't have any more access to Steam unless I upgrade this thing. Because I don't use newer versions of Windows than 7. At least not yet, and I'll get into that. And I don't do Linux either. I don't care enough to learn to use Linux. I don't have the time for that. I know some people are like, you can find the time to learn it. It's like, man, I don't care. I'm stubborn. It's the same reason I'll never try Android, because I don't even use my phone that much. Like, I don't need to relearn that shit. But, yeah. What I was getting at was Steam. Since Mojave and High Sierra are going to get dropped by Chrome in September, I'm almost certain that they're going to drop support with Steam on January 1st of 2024, just like for Windows 7. If not, it will be very shortly after that, because that's how it goes. Once Chrome is done supporting something, Steam is done supporting it as well, very shortly after. So like I say, I suspect they'll roll it into January 1st. And then guess what? All of the Steam games that were for Mac, for 32-bit, lost. Gone forever. And you can't log in anymore to play them anyway if you had them, so you're fucked. You can't re-download them ever again. They're probably going to delete them off the back end eventually. So it sucks, because I mean, even right now, if you go onto Steam, like if you look up Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops, it doesn't say that it has a Mac version, but guess what? If you buy it, you get a Mac version. That's 32-bit only. And that'll be gone forever. So all those Mac games, all those Mac ports will be lost, unless it had a release separately. Obviously, the Mac App Store versions of all these games are lost forever. If you have them, you can still download them and play them. I regret not buying more games, but they've been gone for 4 or 5 years at this point. So yeah, that Steam is just decimated on Macs. It's almost pointless to maintain a Steam library anymore for me, because I don't play modern games. I mean, I might even mention that later, but I don't play modern games. I haven't bought a new game. I picked up a couple things on a Steam sale not long ago, but they were all old games. I think I got like the Fear Trilogy bundle, and some other stuff. But I hadn't bought a new Steam game in like 5 years. But yeah, so for me, I'm done with Steam pretty much. If I can make it work on a newer Windows machine, I will probably install some games from it just for convenience sake, because you don't have to worry about the Safe Disk DRM. But yeah. In terms of what I do have on Steam, though, for the Mac, almost all of it is available off of Steam. like Half-Life 2 I can play off of Steam. Civilization 4 I have the DVD for it. COD 4 I have a defective DVD for it, but I do have a copy of it that I can just drag from an external hard drive onto mine. So I can play most of my games still, but again, they're all 32-bit. Once I upgraded my OS to a certain point, I won't be able to play them anymore. And this is the only computer that runs them decently enough anymore to make it worth it. My old 2010 iMac, I still have that thing. I haven't powered it on, and I don't know how long it's been since I powered that thing on, but it works fine. Again, it's running off of an external hard drive, but it works perfectly. I have never had a single main computer of mine just die. They all still work, even going back to that old Dell Latitude. The first machine in the line that goes to this one, pretty much. And they all still work, which is incredible. But again, you get to the point, because I was using Windows XP. I guess at this point, 6 years ago, I was using Windows XP as my main OS, and it was still working. But that's pointless. There are some people that still try to use it, but whatever. It's pointless at this point. I still use XP all the time, though, for offline applications. I never connect them to the internet, though. I always air gap it. But this video's getting long already, man. We'll go for like a 40-50 minute, because who gives a flying fuck? Nobody's gonna click on it anyway. I mean, we can go about anything here. Nobody's gonna see it. Unless you're really dedicated, and if so, you should leave a comment. Yes. So, what was I getting at? Steam support's gone pretty soon. I will not even bother installing Steam on a newer Mac than Mojave. I won't even install it. There's no point. Yeah. Just, I don't know. It's one of those things where, yeah, it's lame, stupid. But it is what it is. Time goes on, I suppose, but there's just so much stuff in the digital age that's just lost forever. Because, I mean, at least with some of the older stuff, like, you can still install it and play it on older machines. You can use virtual disk images, virtual machines for some stuff. You know, you can find remedies, but it's, so much of this stuff's just, nobody's ever gonna be able to access it ever again. And it sucks. So, yeah, but like I say, back to this machine though, this 2012 iMac. I'm thinking, because you can, I think you can run the latest version, that Ventura, on it. The only thing I don't know about is GPU acceleration, because I have to have that. I might try to go for like Monterey, just because it's probably a little more stable, and I don't have to worry about so many updates coming down the pipe and potentially breaking things. I probably wouldn't go to Big Sur at this point. I'd probably go to Monterey. And again, it would lock me out of that cross-pollination with the drives. I'm gonna have to deal with it eventually. But again, like I say, though, I hate to disrupt what I've done here with this machine. My partitions, my different operating system installs. I have everything set up, and like I say, I've been using Sierra for years and years at this point. I have everything tuned for it, and all my applications. But like I said, many of them didn't even work when I stepped up just to High Sierra, just one version up, and they stopped working. So, it is what it is. But that's where I'm getting into. It's like, you know, and I don't even know how long the hard drive in this machine is going to last. I don't know how long the machine itself is going to last. I don't know what I'm going to do as a remedy if the hard drive fails, because we have Thunderbolt, no FireWire. Obviously, I don't even know how I'd be able to get my hands on another FireWire hard drive, because the one in this is a 1 terabyte, and I could not replace it with a 500 gig. I just don't have it. It would not be enough space. That's why I can't go back to that older machine. Don't even have enough space for my iTunes library on that thing. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to disturb it, but again, I don't know how long it's going to last anyway. I don't know how long this machine's going to last. I want to use it for as long as I possibly can, but I might just end up getting something anyway, eventually, just because it's going to be too much. But again, I think I might go for Monterey, see if there's many caveats. If there are, I'll probably skip it and just focus on getting new hardware. But otherwise, I'll give it a try eventually when I decide that I've had enough of the way things are going with this. Because I would like to be a little bit ahead of the curve with support. Which, I mean, you can use a browser. Like if Firefox stopped supporting this operating system tomorrow, you could probably get like 3 or 4 years until things started to become really problematic. But I want to be a little bit ahead of that curve because I'm getting to the point like where the Safari on this, I've tried to keep using the Safari for a while. It's getting to be unusable though, the Safari for Sierra. So, yeah. But that gets me into thinking about a new machine. Again, this is just like an old vid, like old times. Because again, I'm going to buy a brand new computer. I'm not going to buy a used computer next time. And I'm starting to think whether I should go for a Mac or a PC. Yep, I might go back to PC because it's cheaper. And because I think that Windows is a little better these days for me. For someone like me. Because I like to tinker with stuff. I like to keep old programs running. Because I'm stubborn like that. I mean, I'm not even that old necessarily. But I have built up my repertoire of softwares that I use. And guess what? Almost all of them that are like the ones that are going to get cut off when I go up higher than Mojave for Mac, all of them you can run on Windows. Or there's a very similar application for Windows that I have been using for years already. So I can migrate to Windows, and guess what? Windows 11, even the 64, that's only 64-bit, it'll run most of them. Almost all of them will work. Even today, some of these applications haven't been updated in 25 years, but they still work. They still work. Or with patching, you can make them work. So, and that's incredible, man. Like 25 years ago, 1998, I dare you to try running a Mac app from 1998 on a machine even 10 years newer than that. It's not going to happen. Hell, I dare you to do it on a machine like 8 years newer than that. It probably won't work. So it's like, it's just the way Windows is, it's a lot more wide-ranging with its support of everything. I mean, you can buy a brand new Dell computer, like a high-end Dell computer, like a Xeon system, that has PS2 ports on it still, for mouse and keyboard. It's like, holy shit, you can get a motherboard for a custom machine that's like that. It's just, you know, there's a lot more of that support for that old stuff. Keyboard tray is still broken. But that's what I like about Windows. I don't really like Windows in terms of the way that it spams you with updates. I think that if you go up to like the professional version of it, you can kind of maintain that, and I would definitely do that. I would get Pro Windows or Enterprise, whatever I need to do to take control of the system a little bit more. I would tweak the hell out of Windows. But you can do it. I've seen people that make Windows 11 look like Windows 2000. I mean, that stuff can be done. I dare you. You can't even change some of the system icons in the modern Mac versions. I don't even think you can change any of them. But, yeah, that's just the way I am. I'm a tinkerer. I like to fuck with stuff just for fun. I like to make my computer my own, to an extent. More so with the applications, because the actual OS doesn't mean much to me. I care about the software I can run on. And with Mac, there ain't nothing I'm running on a modern Mac other than like web utilities, so I could buy a freaking Chromebook that'd do most of the same stuff. Not that I would ever buy a Chromebook, but a Mac, I mean, I don't know. There are certain things I'm invested in with the Mac, though, that would upgrade. And so I will always need a Mac around, at least for the foreseeable future. But it's one to where I can probably hold on to this guy and then move on to Windows and then keep this till it dies and buy a Mac Mini or whatever the hell I want to do for a modern machine and then upgrade my stuff from there. But again, the iTunes library I have on here, it's like, I can port that to Windows. Because Windows still has iTunes. I'm sure you can make iTunes versions from 20 years ago run on the modern Windows, I'm sure of it. So, again, man, it all comes down to the software support. And I can get a decent Windows computer going for well under $1,000. And so I might just do that instead. I mean, I could get a Mac Mini. I don't know what they sell for right now, like $600 maybe. I don't keep up with technology like I used to either. But I mean, I could get a Mac Mini and a Windows desktop at the same time, and then just KVM everything. But I mean, that would be a solution. But I'd probably spend more time with the Windows machine. I'd probably spend more time on Windows virtual machines or in Wine on this machine than I do with actual Mac apps, to be honest with you. It's just the way it goes, man. So, it's funny how that stuff is. It's just, I don't know. That's what's difficult about buying a new Mac, is it's like, what the hell am I going to use it for? Other than just having a modern computer. I like having a file system that actually works. Unlike the iPad or the phone or whatever, where it's just this half-assed thing. And then obviously the internet access and some other stuff as well. Because there are some things, like I need a machine that can do video editing as well. This one, I'm impressed with this 2012 iMac for video editing. It crunches anything that I've thrown at it. Like that video that I did, that Windows one, it edited very fast. It took me like 5-10 minutes to render out the whole vid. No problem at all. Any of the vids I've put through this thing, man, it's been very good with that. Video editing has been perfect on it. I used to sit, even with that 2010 iMac, I used to sit for hours waiting for shit to go through. It took me forever to make videos, and then anything before that, forget about it. But yeah, I can only imagine on a modern computer what it would be like. In video editing wise, Mac is fine for that. But Windows, I'm sure there's plenty of alternatives on Windows. Maybe I can even finagle my old Windows Movie Maker into a modern version and use that damn thing. I've been using it for some recent videos, if you can't tell. Yeah, I like Windows Movie Maker, that old antique little thing. It's just fun to use. But for making higher quality videos, obviously go much newer. But yeah, 37 minutes already. It's like, holy crap. I knew I would ramble for a while, so there you go. Weekly update videos are long, long, long. And no, it's not too long, man, because this is why I came on here, was just a bitch. But yeah, that's just where I am, guys. I'm thinking about things, but again, I don't know. It will happen as it happens. Maybe you'll learn in future vids what I end up doing as an incidental, or maybe I'll do some more weekly updates eventually, and I'll talk about what I ended up doing with this thing and with just computers in general. Whether I went Windows or Mac or did both or whatever I did. Because the thing is, though, I need money. I need money for this stuff, man. I don't know. I'm thinking if I had to get a new computer, it probably wouldn't be until the end of this year, early next year, till I'd be able to save up enough to put aside for a computer. Because there's so much shit I gotta save up for. Like, it's not even funny. So I'm working towards a lot of different things at once. And it is a little inconvenient to have to put aside extra money for a computer. And I'm probably going to have to put aside more money for other stuff. Because here I'll go on a tangent, man. I got this phone here. This iPhone SE it is. And also, if you notice something about this phone, this is the 2021. This is not the newest one. So this is already a 3, almost 4-year-old phone hardware-wise, and I've only had it for just under a year. And the battery health is already at 94%. It's like, ooh, I don't like that. That's not good. Because my old phone, my 5S, that old rinky-dink piece of shit, I probably can pull it out just for fun. It's still resting in its spot. What are the odds of that, huh? Yep, look at that old thing. This thing is at like 70%. And I had it for 5 years. It was already 5 years old when I got it, so. And then same with my iPad. I've had it for a little over 2 years. I mean, the unboxing videos on YouTube, and it's at like 84% or something like that. Not good. My dad's old iPad, the one that I inherited, that thing's at 83%, and it's been in use for fucking 11, 12 years. It's like, god damn, man, these batteries are like shit now. I've heard it's a lot to do with software. There's some software issues with batteries and iOS devices that are causing them to be drained faster. It has nothing to do with the battery technology itself. From what I hear, I don't know. But that's what I've heard. And the battery life on this thing is shit anyway. It's not good battery life. So in a year's time from now, the battery life on that thing could be complete junk, and I might have to buy a new phone. The battery life on the iPad is acceptable for what I use it for. It's just on charging now. The iPad as well. So, yeah. And I might have to get a new iPad eventually, though. We'll see. Because like I say, I actually haven't updated this thing since I got it. Or since very shortly after I got it. So it's still running iOS 14. See if I can see what version it's running. 14.6. And it's only a 32 gig, so I have almost no space on it. But, so I might get a new iPad eventually as well. Because I do use it every day. Because I like having something that's not tied to my main computer. If I had two computers, I probably wouldn't need this as much, but I like the fact that I can turn this computer off, do whatever the hell I want with it, reboot it, whatever, so any videos or anything I'm pulling up on here will stay. And it's much better than a phone screen, so I like the iPad. I do use it all the time. So, like, I gotta upgrade that stuff probably in a year or two's time. I would like to anyway. And then just everything else. I mean, it's a lot to set aside money for, especially when you're not making much to begin with, and you just got so much other fucking stuff going on. It's like, man, goddamn. That sucks. Never enough money. So I'm going to be working my ass off later in this year. I don't know. I'm going to have to just do completely, like, outright full-time, 2 jobs, whatever the hell it's got to be. Because I need to get things rolling quicker than they have been, because it's not going anywhere right now. Because if you earn money and then it just fucking vanishes instantly, it is what it is. The keyboard tray. It's been getting dark as I do this. I know I need new blinds, by the way. Yeah, that will happen. But I mean, I don't know what else to say. We're already 43 minutes into this fucking thing. It doesn't tell me how large the file size is. That's the only thing that it doesn't say. I wish it would. But at least it does tell me how long I've been going for, like with the old timestamp, you know. But yeah. Yep, I could talk about some other stuff. Ooh, let's go for like an hour, guys. Let's fucking roll. So PS3 wise, I'm just gonna stand up and put this shit away so I can actually be kind of productive in the middle of this. PS3 wise, it's going good. I've had it for like a month. I know somebody asked me in a comment if I could make more videos about it, but it's like I really don't have anything to say about it. Like, it's a PlayStation 3. I mean, I could show the games that I have on it, but it's like, that's literally all I can do is just show you a list of games I have on it. I don't know much about custom firmware. All I did was just follow a freaking YouTube guide to install it, and it was like just one day. That was it. That was done. So I don't really have much to say about it. Like, I've only had the console for a month. But it is a cool system. I'm liking it. I'm using it to play a lot more PS1 and PS2 games, actually, as it turns out, because that's just kind of more of what I'm into. But yeah, it's a cool system. I'm glad I finally got one. I don't use my Xbox like at all anymore. I mean, it's not even plugged in. It's just sitting here. Let's see if I can grab it. It's just sitting here. So I don't know. Part of me has thought about selling this because it would help me, and I would set the money aside. But I can only get like $150 for this damn thing, especially with the way that it's chipped right there. So, I mean, it works fine, but that doesn't help, man, to have a basically brand new console and then there's just that huge nick in it. But, I've thought about selling it. But, I don't know. I use it to... The only reason I care to have it is this. The controller. Because ironically, and everybody bitches and complains about Xbox One and Series controllers just being garbage with stick drift and that kind of stuff, triggers, this and that. For me, it's the 360 controllers, man. The 360 controllers suck. They're trash. Built like garbage with sticks. Because I have 4 of them here, and I've had more before, and they all broke. But I don't know if it's going to show up on vid, but the sticks actually physically shred themselves on the inside. There's a plastic post that just gets destroyed. You can see. And on like a PS2 controller, you'd never notice that. You'd never actually see this happening in game. Every game that I play, man, freaking sticks drifting all the time, and because it doesn't actually recenter itself when you push it in that direction. So you're playing like Oblivion or GTA 4 or Battlefront 2, whatever the case may be. Your guy's sliding around, where you just see this slow drift. Drives me crazy, man. I cannot stand that stuff. So, and again, any 360 controller I find is messed up in the same way. Of course, these battery backs break. I put this cheap-ass Chinese one on there just for now, but it doesn't even snap to it properly. You can see a big gap there. So, sucks, man. I don't even play games that much. But I like to play, especially Battlefront 1 on the 360 that I have set up here. But it sucks. Like, I can't really get into a new game on my 360 because the controllers are all broken. So that's like my one reservation there, is because like I can play the 360 games, for most of them, on my Series S, and they play good on there, and the controller isn't messed up, and I have a couple of them. So that's the only reason I even keep it. I don't play new games, like I said. Like, I'll be completely honest, I do not buy new games. I do not play new games. I don't give a flying fuck about new games. I would never buy a PlayStation 5. The only reason I bought that was to play 360 games. And I would not, obviously, like I said, I don't buy games on Steam or anything like that. I don't play games online either. Not anymore. It was fun. I was into playing with these guys again on System Link, tunneling and that kind of stuff, but it's just too much of a fucking hassle to actually get games going. Same with Insignia. I'm like, man, just screw it. I don't have the time for that shit. You guys are wanting to get together. Like, once a month they'll play. When a new game gets added, they'll play them. It's like it never freaking happened. Like, yay, Xbox Live is back. Who gives a damn? Because nobody even plays it. Whatever. It's dumb. But no surprise, it always goes like that. People don't actually give much of a shit about any of it anymore. So, whatever. Yeah, there you go. There's bitching, because it's just like, god damn, guys. I was so happy when Battlefront came online, but then nobody plays it. And I'm not going to try to get organized with stuff like that. I just don't have the time for it. I'll just play offline. But it is what it is. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I don't know. I mean, I have some vids that are coming up. I have some vids I want to make that are coming up. Again, it's just eclectic stuff. The way the channel is, it's just eclectic stuff. I mean, these old freaking games from 15 years ago, these old style vids, I like making them. They're fun. I just make stuff when I get the chance. Like, I got that Lego set, I did a review on it. You know, just whatever comes up, man. So, and there's been I mean, it's funny how it all works out. I don't know. I'm surprised I'm even still making vids at this point. There was a drought for a while where I was just like done. You know, sometimes you luck out, man, and you end up getting a lot of stuff to make vids on, and it works out like that. And so if you've noticed a theme with some of the recent videos, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. I've been doing this for a long time, but yeah, just another chapter in this fucking Ben Our Lego channel. Another crazy chapter. It just keeps rolling, no matter how much it seems like it's gonna stop. It keeps going, and more shit happens, and we go on, and it becomes more a comedy of itself. That's one thing I want to get into, though. I could talk about a lot of different things with this that are just ridiculous and fucking absolutely incredulous, insane. But what I wanted to say about my thing here with YouTube is I'm not gonna, because I have made videos about this in the past. There are channels that are dedicated to some of the similar stuff that I am, like old computer stuff, old games, this and that, where you'll end up where they make the same fucking vid over and over and over again, like literally the same shit. Like some of these channels that are dedicated to these old computers, one year they'll make a video, like in 2020 a guy makes a video of an old computer he has, showing, oh, I haven't turned this on in a while, I'll turn it on, we'll see what's on it, if it still works, this and that. A year later, he says, I haven't fired this up in a year, let's fire it up, I haven't touched a damn thing since the last time I did the vid, let's go through the whole same thing all over again. Then the next year, let's do it again and again and again. Nobody wants to see that. Who gives a damn? Like, there was a guy I remember, he was a good guy, but he made these Mac videos about these old Macs, using them with modern software. Literally, he made one every single year for every one of the computers, and they were all the fucking same. You can't even tell what year you're watching the vid in. Because it's all the same. They're literally all the same. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, yeah, I could show you my freaking 6640C, but guess what? It would be literally the exact same as the last time. I could show you the Dell Latitude, it would be the same as ever. I could show you the freaking 17-inch iMac, it would be the same as ever. Like, I could show you my modded Wii, it would be the exact same as last time. I could show you the software on this. Much of it would be the fucking same as before. So it's just like, you run out of stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to keep rehashing the same junk over and over again with regards to that. So that's where I am with that. I don't think that's a good model. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to trash on people. Like, if that's what you do, like, yeah, I mean, sure, make a video on it. If you pull the computer out every year to power it up, whatever, it's fine. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't see that as good content. In terms of just making the same thing over and over again. You gotta actually do something different. But at the same time, a lot of my videos have been kind of the fucking same for a long time. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that I think about. And that's a large reason why I stopped uploading for some time. And it became infrequent. It's just because, again, I'm gonna just keep making the same shit over and over again. But I think I'm not gonna make videos if they're not, like, interesting content to me. I'm just not going to do it. But, I lost my train of thought. But things will come out. There are videos that I have planned, just kind of for fun. And it's all for fun. That's all it is. It's a hobbyist channel. I don't have any stake in it, necessarily. I've been getting a bunch of subscribers lately. It's crazy. Excuse me, I jumped like 8 subs in 2 or 3 weeks. That's huge for me. Oh my god, excuse me. Yeah, you wonder why? It's because of this shit. A rich cola. I actually have been in contact with Unzuego not too long ago. Offline. Which is kind of funny. But, yeah. Yep, there will be some more vids soon. That's what I'll say. But now we're going to go back into the rehashing the same shit over and over again, because how many videos have I made saying this and that about, oh, there will be new vids soon. So, there you go. That's me. That's me. It's all just fucking nuts. The way things are playing out. And, I'm busy. I've moved on from a lot of different things that I used to do. And, just like I said before, that it is what it is, guys. But we're not done yet. This fucking channel always lives on in the end. Always lives on. So, 55 minutes, basically. That's long enough. But there you go. That's my update video. That's just some of the update, anyway. Because otherwise we'd be here for a long friggin' time. So, it is what it is, guys. Maybe eventually we'll get some
wacky ass stuff going on that's a little bit different from the orthodox. But until then, I'll have more gaming vids out and some other stuff, so catch you guys later.